Live on tape from Cheltenham, it's the final!
We started with 24. We're now down to 8. Athletes came from across the globe to compete in completely ridiculous made-up sports, hoping to reach the grand final. Today, the Elite 8 have to do it all again. Only one winner, only one International King of Sports, 2004.
And 2004 has been a vintage year so far for International King of Sports. We have seen some amazing new talent as well as wonderful performances from familiar faces. We have seen sensational events, both old and new, and a host of incredible world records. And in today's grand final, we're going to see international skids. Eat my mat, the speed gun run. Going head over heels in the water jump. Stretch out and wait, it's the endurance pool hang. Get down on it, men's individual fall down. And the leap of destiny, the headlong dive.
So you know the score by now. Although our sports are completely made up, our athletes are most definitely the real deal. You're about to be introduced to 8 of the very best. So let's meet the finalists.
Brian Clark, the tractor boy from Ipswich, ex-pro footballer and 4th in last year's final. James Christie, just 17, nephew of the great Linford, inexperienced but phenomenally gifted. Josh Wood, Jamaican international sprinter, they call him the finisher, and he's determined to be number 1. Jimmy Quarry, Commonwealth decathlon medalist, an incredible all-rounder with an unshakable will to win. Kengo Shiomi, silver medalist from last year. Shiomi never fails to surprise. Geordie Liam Collins, decathlete and hurdler, always focused and the king of the mind games. Australia's Chris Norton, rugby fullback with the famous Eastwood Club, tackles every event head on. William Pobey, last year's bronze medalist, with all the talent required to win, and he knows it. The International King of Sports finalists 2004.
Well, what a fantastic atmosphere as the crowd go crazy here in Cheltenham, the home of International King of Sport. And of course, as always, I'm joined by former International King of Sport himself, Mr. Mark Robson. Mark, we have got 8 of the very best here in the 2004 final, including for the first time ever, 5 Brits have made it through.
Yeah, it's quite a lineup. James Christie at 17, the youngest in the final. He has no fear factor. He doesn't even realise what he's achieved to get here in the first place, so he'll not be intimidated. Jamie Quarry, the decathlete, he's got discipline and drive and real all-round strength. Brian Clark, though, I'm worried about his knee injury. He had to work very hard even to get into the final. Will it carry him through all these events?
He does have experience from last year.
Was in the final last year, as was William Pobey, and he's really bouncing this time. He thinks that he's going to win it. Liam Collins, nobody has trained more specifically for each event, harder than he has. He was at a special training camp in El Paso, would you believe. Josh Wood, the Jamaican, again, he says, you know, nobody else can win this but me. Chris Norton, the Australian rugby player, like Adam Horder last year, has all that power and physical strength. And Kengo Shiomi, though, he's got the Japanese spirit and the spring that he always talks about. But my tip for the title is the decathlete, the powerhouse himself, Jamie Quarry.
110 meters on the hurdles. Athletes dip underneath hurdles placed along the track. You must pass underneath all of the hurdles or you will be disqualified. And I mean that.
The moment of truth. Event 1 in the grand final. This is Kengo Shiomi, the little Japanese athlete, always full of surprises. Liam Collins, the first of the many British athletes in the final, an international hurdler. He's absolutely brimming with confidence. And the brilliant Australian Chris Norton. He won the event in his heat. This is going to be tougher, but he'll be there or thereabouts. William Pobey, last year's bronze medalist, also won this event in his heat and a real contender for the title. Jamie Quarry, another man highly fancied to win the big prize. He had weaknesses in his heat, but not too many. Josh Wood, fastest in the field. For pace, this would be his event, but the under hurdle's about so much more than just speed. James Christie, another international sprinter, only 17 and full of potential. And the gutsy Brian Clark, his doctors told him not to run here because of his long-term knee injury, but he's not listening. Getting off to a good start in the final is so important psychologically as well as on the leaderboard, and this promises to be a very close race indeed. A lot of tension down there on the start line, and they're away. Povey, Collins, Norton, they're all doing well, but Christie's hit the hurdle. He's out of it. What a setback for the teenager. James Quarry powering through now. But it's Collins who leads from Quarry and Povey, and Collins is beginning to pull clear. Povey's all over the place. He's hit the final hurdle. Collins takes it in style. Quarry nicks second from Povey. The track like a battlefield. Fallen bodies, fallen hurdles, but the winner oblivious to the mayhem behind him, and his look of fierce determination said it all.
Liam, a world record, so it's a fantastic first event for you, and it looked to me to be all about technique and avoiding those hurdles.
Absolutely, I knew under that pressure that a lot of athletes today were going to buckle. It's very tense out there, and I just stuck to my game plan. A quick dip under the high ones and a quick touch to the floor, and I stuck with that all the way. I saw William next to me. I thought, don't panic, let him make the mistakes, and unfortunately for William that's what happened, but I'm just really thrilled to get a first one under the belt.
What a start for Britain's Liam Collins, beating all the big names. Jamie Quarry takes second, Povey third. So Liam Collins is our early leader, but poor James Christie, just 1 point for him. Join us in part 2 for International Skids and the Speed Gun Run. Welcome back to the grand final of International King of Sports, where Britain's Liam Collins has taken an early lead.
This is International Skids. It is so simple. You must make the great big long skid down the track, but if you fall over, then your skid is counterfeit.
Well, this is by far the longest skid ramp we've ever had in this competition, partly because the athletes are of such a high calibre. Now, it reaches 60 metres, and if you saw the heat involving Jamie Quarry, you'll know it's very possible to skid right off the end, as he did 3 times, setting a world record of 12.79 seconds. Yes, if you reach the end, then it becomes time that counts, and Quarry says he can beat the world record in the final. We shall see. Just 1 skid each in the final, and that was bad news for Jamaica's Josh Wood, who went into a spin and crashed out.
William Povey of Great Britain. He's lying third after the opening event, and that's disappointing for him because Povey really thought he was going to win the under hurdle, so doubly determined to get this right. He's lost his position a little bit here, and he's off the track. Another disappointment for William Povey, 25 metres 42, and I fear that in the kind of company he's keeping today in this final, that won't be good enough. Next, it's Britain's Brian Clark, who absolutely loves this event. Remember, he defied his doctors to run in the opening event, the under hurdles, where his knee troubled him again. Let's see how he does here. Great balance, real power. All about momentum, this event. And speed can be just as important as distance if it comes to a close call. He's just edging past the 55 metres mark. That's a wonderful skid from Brian Clark. 57 metres 15. And the man who finished fourth in last year's final has set the mark for the rest to beat here. Can the other competitors come up to this standard? We shall see. Never rule out Kango Show Me. Just when you think this Japanese athlete is down and out, he pops back up again to surprise you. Physically, he doesn't really have the weight to excel in international skids, but his technique normally carries him through that problem and carries him to a massive distance, and it's going to again here. This looks a terrific skid from Show Me. Just creeping up to the 55-metre point. He'll be absolutely delighted with that. Once again, the Japanese athlete has proved that he's a man you can never discount. 55 metres 47. Terrific skidding by Show Me, but Clark still in the lead. Jamie Quarry, the world record holder and one of the favourites to lift the overall prize here. He skidded to the very end of this track before in a sensational time of 12.79 seconds, and this is how. Wonderful skidding, real power, his weight giving him all the momentum he needs. He even does a full 360-degree turn, and he could go over 60 metres again. He has! Fantastic! Jamie Quarry sets the mark again for the rest to beat. 60 metres in 16.68 seconds. Beat that, he says. Who can? Australia's Chris Norton. He really underperformed in the under hurdles, and he'll be looking to get that right here. I must say, he doesn't look all that comfortable coming up. It's not an event he was exactly looking forward to, the Aussie. Big guy, top-grade rugby player back in New South Wales. He's 6'4" and 14 stone, and that kind of frame looks to be a disadvantage to him here. It's a very disappointing skid by Norton. Measured at 41 metres 44. I'm afraid that's not going to help his cause at all in this final. James Christie, an absolute disaster for him in the opening event, the under hurdles, where he really expected to do well. Hit the hurdle early on in that race. What can he do here to make up for that disappointment? He certainly has the speed, we know that, but can he keep the momentum going here? 17-year-old British athlete, the youngest man in the final, nephew of Linford Christie, and that's not bad at all. 42 metres 89. It's the fourth best skid so far. He'll feel a lot better about that young Christie. Keeps him in contention. Liam Collins of Great Britain, a surprise winner of the opening event. And it would be an even bigger surprise if Collins were to go on and win this. He's looking good early on though. He's got the speed, he's got the power. This looks very, very good indeed. Using his arms to keep that momentum going forward. And this could be 60 metres. Quarry did it in 16.68. That is sensational. 12.97 seconds. Collins has won again, and you're now looking at the new favourite to win the title. Tremendous performance by Collins. And the crowd join in his moment of triumph here.
Liam, you must be ecstatic after that. We knew you had a special skid in you. You produced it when it mattered.
Well, you were the one who said it before. I was thrilled to pull it out when it counted. You know, I just spoke to my coach Enoch Borozinski from Poland and told him the news, and he was absolutely delighted because this was my weakest event coming into it, and I just hope I can build off this success and, you know, keep it going throughout the match. But the support's been absolutely tremendous today, really great. Look at them all.
A real shock as Liam Collins takes his second successive event. Another second place for Jamie Quarry. So Collins and Quarry dominate the leaderboard. A whole clutch of names are tied for third.
The speed gun run. Athletes must run as fast as they possibly can down the 20-meter track. Your speed is measured just before you hit the mat. Ow, my face!
Speed gun run. It's obviously about pace and acceleration, but as well as an element of physical intensity. You need to be brave because the natural instinct is to slow down when you get close to the mat. But you've got to think rugby tackle. And can anybody pass the magic 20-mile-an-hour mark?
Well, only 2 men in history have run over 20 miles per hour for this event, and you're looking at one of them. 17-year-old James Christie. You know he's got the speed. He's a member of the famous Thames Valley Harriers Athletics Club, and his uncle, of course, the incomparable Linford Christie. He showed that speed on the runway, but he didn't really drive through the mat, and he might be disappointed with that, I think. Let's wait and see the time. 18.73. He'll certainly want more than that on his second run. Here's Kengo Shomi, only 21, the Japanese athlete who was runner-up in last year's International King of Sports final. He's a slightly built athlete. He's certainly quick, as you saw there, and he's brave. He kept running right through. It's not necessarily his strongest event, this, but look at that! 19.90. That is a sensational time for the little man from Japan. No wonder he's ecstatic here. He really surprised us with that time.
Kengo, where did that come from? Because you'd never achieved anything like that before.
Absolutely terrific. Even me, I can still believe it. And I like giving you guys big surprise.
Liam Collins, the leader. What can he do here in the speed gun run? He's a very good sprinter, but his technique needs a bit of polishing, I think. And he hasn't got time to polish it now. He's really going for broke. Tremendous power down the runway, but you saw there, right at the end, he was apprehensive about hitting the mat. He threw out his arms to protect himself at the final moment, and that will be costly. 18.69, and that puts him down, I'm afraid, in last place. His fans don't seem to mind, do they? Disappointment, though, for Collins, I'm sure. Brian Clark. Perhaps he lacks the raw speed of some of his competitors here, but he's certainly brave, that's for sure. Off he goes, and straight into the mat. But it's not going to be quick, I'm afraid. 17.63. That, in fact, is the slowest run yet for Clark. Jamie Quarry, lying second overall in the final, just 2 points behind Liam Collins. Be looking for maximum power and pace on the runway, and then forget that mat's there. You've got to drive through it as though it didn't exist. Wonderfully graceful looking athlete, and that looks very good to me from Quarry. 19.28, and that puts him second behind Shomi. Understandably delighted with that time in Quarry. William Povey looking very focused indeed. However, he's really desperate for points now. He came third last year. Very strong in the water-based events, even though he's a non-swimmer. He told us he fancied breaking the world record here. And it's not bad. He certainly hasn't challenged the world record, but it'll be a good time, 19.17.
William, it's a pretty good speed so far. Tell me about the hamstring. Is it a bit tight? You seem to be holding it after that run.
Yeah, my hamstring is a bit tight, but I'm trying to pick up speed too early. So what I need to do is just take it a bit slower and just hit harder when I'm getting to the end.
So you feel there's a plus 20 still left?
Yeah, there's plus 20. I need to take the world record. I need to take it.
Jamaica's Josh Wood. He can run 100 metres in under 10.5 seconds, and that is excellent. And he's showing that kind of form on the runway. He looked really great. There was a bit of a stumble there from Wood before he hit the mat, And that's going to cost him, obviously. 18.87, it certainly has cost him. Furious with himself. A real competitor, this guy. The Aussie Chris Norton, who shocked everyone this morning, beating the world record in unofficial practice. Quick and powerful, can he repeat it now, when it really matters? An anxious wait for the time to come up. 18.62, that's very disappointing. The big Aussie knows he can do much better than that.
In the second round of runs, James Christie improved slightly, but was still underperforming. Kengo Shiomi was a long way off his first round heroics. Liam Collins also improved, but not by much. Not a good event for our leader. And Brian Clark gave it his all, but remained firmly in last place.
Second run for Jamie Quarry, still hunting for Shiomi's mark of 19.90. Very concentrated, very focused. A lot of support for Quarry, hugely popular here. And one of the big favourites to lift the title. He's made an excellent start. He's got to keep it going in this event. Got that natural power down the runway, all about not slowing down as he hits the mat. And he didn't. A better performance from Quarry. 19.96, he's pipped Shiomi. What a result for Jamie Quarry. No wonder he's smiling. Definitely the favourite now. William Povey wants that world record. He's quick enough. He knows he's quick enough. Getting the backing of the crowd, and that looks like a great run to me. Excellent speed, determination as he hit the mat. At the time, 19.51, it's not enough for Povey. Josh Wood, the real sprinter in this field. Bit of a stumble as he hit the mat on his first run, and that proved very costly. So he's got to do better here. 19.96 seconds, the time to beat. And I don't think he's going to beat it, no. 18.65, so a real disappointment for the Jamaican. Chris Norton's final opportunity to show what he can do. He's absolutely desperate to go through the 20-mile-per-hour barrier here and take maximum points in this event to stay in contention. It looks good! But again, I don't think it's going to be good enough. 19.07, disappointment again for the big Aussie rugby star. He knows he's capable of more than that. Maximum points though for Quarry. Second Shiomi, Povey takes third.
Jamie, a 3-point lead at the end of 3 events. Is it going to plan?
It's going better than I thought, to be honest with you. I'd kind of... I'd sort of had in my head some of the performances I wanted to do based on what I thought everybody else could do, and I've far exceeded those, so I'm very, very happy, yeah.
So Jamie Quarry wins his first event and a superb second place for Japan's Kengo Shiomi. So Quarry now leads overall from fellow Brit Liam Collins. Shiomi speeds into third. Coming up in part 3, the water jump, the gripping endurance pool hang, and eyes down for men's individual fall down.
Here we are poolside for the grand final of International King of Sports 2004. It has been a stunning competition so far, but there are still plenty of points to be picked up in the water.
And we're back at the water jump. Remember, athletes must be like Superman, faster than a speeding train, able to leap over a bar with a single jump and land into the water like a big piano. Boing.
You're looking at the world record height in the water jump, which is 1 metre 80, as held by William Povey, but I fancy that's going to have to go in the final to pick up maximum points. It is about speed in the run-up, but more importantly, you've got to hit the sweet spot on the springboard, which is about here. So who will be the human Harrier jump jet? Well, the shock early casualty in the water jump was Japan's Kengo Shiomi, who was anything but a jump jet. 2 failures meant it was sayonara at 1 metre and 60.
So the bar's raised to 1 metre 70. Liam Collins, who had a big setback in the speed gun run and now finds himself trailing Jamie Quarry, so needs something special here. Good approach, great spring, really good jump, and that'll perk him up no end. Liam Collins well clear at 1 metre 70, and the Geordie stays in contention here. William Povey, the current world record holder, remember, at 1 metre 80, bronze medalist in the 2002 final. And shows just why he's back in contention for gold. As usual, the divers have to bring him to the surface. Remember, Povey, a non-swimmer. If he wins, he'll certainly owe those guys a drink at the end. He's got wonderful spring, superb technique. Josh Wood of Jamaica, a top-class sprinter, strong and quick. So the run-up should be good. Oh, but it wasn't particularly stumble there, and he was in trouble right from the word go. He got it all wrong here, took off much too early. One more attempt for the Jamaican then. He's got to get that right. Brian Clark, the oldest man in the final. He's 34, he cleared this height in last year's final. Oh, that was so unlucky. Just clipped the bar with his knee. And now he too is going to need a really good second attempt to gain points.
No problems, however, for Jamie Quarry. Well clear at 1 metre 70. Followed by Australia's rugby heavyweight Chris Norton and South London wonder boy James Christie. But Josh Wood then failed his second attempt, as did the agonisingly close Brian Clark. The bar then went up to the current world record height of 1 metre 80. Well, William, the tension really is incredible now. We're up to world record height in the water jump. You are the world record holder. What exactly is the secret?
There's no secret. This year competition is going to be tough. So I know this world record is going to be going. So if I want to hold my world record again, I have to go higher.
Liam Collins, second attempt to equal the world record. No. Just not enough elevation, really. You've got to get so much spring on that board. And quite simply, he didn't, and was not even close. William Povey, we know that he can clear this. He's done it before. Ah, that was unlucky. A big upset. And Povey underperforms once again. What's going wrong for him here? This should have been his best event. Jamie Quarry has another opportunity to score big points, and he knows it. And he sails over. Tremendous from Quarry. No wonder he's so pleased with himself. Absolutely textbook technique. Quarry equals the world record. The Aussie Chris Norton, he's let himself down in the speed gun run. He needs something really good here, and he's produced it. A really competitive athlete, and he pulled it out of the bag when it most mattered. He's also equalled the world record. What a competition we're having here. Now James Christie, the youngest man ever in a King of Sports final. Ah, disappointment for the 17-year-old. He was so close, but he just caught the bar with his knees. A big setback for him.
Chris, great performance. You've equalled the world record and you really needed it. Fine technique.
Oh yeah, I really needed to get over that one because the boys have opened up a bit of gap on the points table at the moment. So yeah, I really need to get there, and hopefully we can get over the next one and not only equal the world record, but set a new one, set a new mark.
Have you got the ability to beat this fella? Because he's looked very impressive.
I've just all weekend I've just nicknamed him the Raging Bull. I mean, you watch him run, he charges at things. He's big, strong legs, powerful guy. So I think it should be a good battle at 190. Looking forward to it.
1 metre 90, a new world record height. Both men failed in their first attempts. Now second attempt for Jamie Quarry. What a day he's having. Really psyched up for this, Quarry. Trying to gain a little bit of momentum from the applause of the crowd. He wants to hear more applause. He wants them to really lift him over that bar. Off he goes. Quarry attempting the world record. And he's sailed over a magnificent new world record for Jamie Quarry. He is the man to beat here. He's proved it again. Fabulous technique. Who can stop him now? So the gauntlet's really been thrown down here for the Aussie, Chris Norton. Can he match Quarry and equal the world record? No. He was close, but it's another win for Quarry. He's going to take some stopping now as Norton clipped the bar in his final attempt.
Jamie, I think in your heart you felt that a win in that event was absolutely essential.
Most definitely. There were 4 or 5 guys there that I knew that could jump high, and in order, certainly with the events that I've got coming up, definitely to pick up as many points as possible, so I'm more than happy with the win.
Quarry continues to impress. First place for the Briton, a great second place for Chris Norton. So Jamie Quarry moves 6 points clear of Liam Collins. Norton cruises into third with William Pobey in fourth.
Endurance pool hang. Athletes must hang on for as long as possible, like a pair of rotten plums. If you fall off, you get wet. Get used to it, buddy.
Welcome to the gallows, the pool hang. If you saw the heat involving Rodrigo Perez, you will have seen an amazing world record of 3 minutes and 18 seconds, the Brazilian bat in action. The muscles feel as if they're filled with molten lead. It's mind over matter, but gain follows pain. The first heat in the pool hang saw brave 1 minute 28 for Brian Clark. But more impressive was the youngster James Christie with 1 minute 45. The second heat saw an early bath for Australia's Chris Norton. Then Kengo Shiomi beating James Christie's time with 1 minute 46. He takes the lead in the pool hang.
So Josh Wood, the Jamaican in the green vest, against Jamie Quarry in the white vest. Quarry now the favourite to lift the gold medal here. He's had a sensational day so far. How will he do in the endurance pool hang? Unlike the heats, this isn't a head-to-head confrontation. If one man drops in, the other man has got to keep hanging, because this is all about the clock. Times will decide who wins. It's not a great event for Jamie Quarry, I have to say. He's a big guy, as you can see, and that can be a real burden in the endurance pool hang. Remember, any sort of time over 1 minute and a half is great hanging. Kengo Shomi's 1 minute 46 is the target that's been set. Quarry, who's represented England in the Commonwealth Games 3 times, bronze medalist in last year's finals in Manchester, not far from his home in Lancaster. He's also represented Great Britain at bobsleigh in the World Championships and the World Cup. A terrific all-round athlete. But he wasn't really looking forward to this. Wood, the Jamaican, has incredible self-belief, and that's really shone through. Very focused, not just here but in the whole event. He says he's come here to win, but it's hurting. It is hurting, and I'm not surprised. The clock ticking on, and he's struggling a little bit here, Wood. Oh, the pain. You can feel for him, and he's in. Wood falls at 1 minute 34. Quarry's got to keep hanging on in there, quite literally. And he's beaten James Christie's time, and he's also now beaten Kengo Shomi's time. So he's in the lead. This guy seems capable of anything. And the clock is approaching 2 minutes. It's a fantastic performance, this, by Quarry. Superhuman stuff, and he finally falls in at 2 minutes 04. And that really is going to be a very tough mark for anyone to beat. So it's an all-British confrontation between William Povey and Liam Collins. Povey confidently strides up the steps onto the platform. Collins, a little more tentatively, follows him. Collins lying second in the overall competition to Quarry at the moment. And Povey is in fourth place. Off they go. 2 minutes and 4 seconds is the time to beat, and both men need the points here. They really can't afford to let Jamie Quarry win another event. We know that Povey here is a great hanger. We've actually seen him hang for over 2 minutes in his heat. Less is known about Liam Collins' capabilities here, but he's looking solid, and he's looking very composed. And at this point, neither man is showing any weakness. Neither man is moving a muscle. Good, strong grip for both of them. Povey was third in last year's final. He, remember, is the non-swimmer who did hold the world record for the water jump in spite of that, until he saw Jamie Quarry beat it earlier in today's final. Povey has represented Great Britain, but he has a Ghanaian background. He was brought up, went to school there, a very disciplined competitor. And the first mark to look out for here is Norton's 1 minute 27. Remember, they're not necessarily competing against each other here. They're both competing against the clock. It's the time that will gain them points. And they're both getting close to Norton's mark of 127. Clark was 128. And I'm confident they're both going to sail past that one comfortably, and they have. Josh Wood, the Jamaican, achieved 1 minute 34, and that's gone by now. The first sign of weakness, and Collins has plunged in at 137. So just Povey remains. Big disappointment there for Collins. 152, he's gone past Christie, he's gone past Show Me, and he's getting very close now to Quarry's time of 2 minutes 04. Can he make it? He has! This is fantastic from Povey. Still looking strong. He knows he's won it. He wants to stay up there as long as he can. He's got so much pride, this guy. And he's even got time again, just as he did in the heat, for a little bit of showboating at the end. He's fallen in at 2 minutes 21. William Povey has produced a wonderful example of endurance pool hanging here and gained so many valuable points. It's been a disappointing final for Povey so far, but this event has really launched him back into contention, and now even Jamie Quarry knows he's not going to get things all his own way.
William, you showed us your potential in the pool hang in your heat, and you've certainly proved your ability at it. You must be really delighted, because that gets you back into the competition, doesn't it?
Yes, it got me back into competition. Like I said, this competition is very tough, and you have to have a mental strength. When I got to 115, I was thinking, oh, let me think about my holiday going to America. So I put my mind in America, and I was like, yeah, let me live my dream holiday. So I decided to hang on for my life. When they said 2 minutes, I said, oh, this is my chance to change the table around again. So I'm happy with that.
Finally a win for William Povey. Jamie Quarry second, Shiomi hangs on for third. So Quarry extends his lead over Liam Collins with 2 events to go. Povey in third.
This has been the most exciting International King of Sport final I can ever remember. We've come back to the stadium for the next set of events, and indeed to find the eventual winner of the 2004 crown.
Men's individual fall down. You must fall down as fast as possible and smash your face into the pad. The slowest man each time is eliminated.
Men's individual fall down. It's all about using the head quite literally. Getting the cranium from A to B. It's reaction time to the gun and getting those legs back. The athletes call it kissing the polo.
Event 6, men's individual fall down. The athletes come out in 4 pairs. For each pair, the winner will progress to the 4-man final. The loser will fight it out for the minor places in the 4-man losers final. This is Chris Norton in the yellow against Liam Collins. Collins has to win to stay in contention here. A lot of tension. And a stumble there for Norton, and that's cost the Aussie. Collins wins. That could be so crucial in the overall result. Jamie Quarry against Kengo Shomi. Shomi could do the rest of the field a big favour here by beating Quarry. That's close. That's really, really close. No one knows yet, but Shomi has won it. And that's a sensational result. That really has blown the final wide open. A handshake from Quarry, but his first big setback. Josh Wood against James Christie. The 2 sprinters. Which of them will be fastest to hit the floor here? 2 very different techniques, having watched them in training. And it's a win for Wood. He literally fell to his knees to beat Christie. William Povey on the left against Brian Clark. Povey still in with a shout of winning the title, but he has to win this fall. Set. And it's Clark, I think. Yes, that's an upset. Great falling from Clark, and that surely ended Povey's hopes of victory now.
The losers final saw James Christie eliminated first. Then sensation. Our leader Jamie Quarry was dumped into 7th. Chris Norton was next out into 6th, leaving William Povey to celebrate. But it was only 5th place for the Briton, with all the big points still up for grabs.
And so to the final of the men's individual fall down. Collins, Shomi, Wood and Clark from left to right. Collins needing as many points as he can possibly get here in his pursuance of Quarry for the gold medal. Oh, it was a close fall all along the line. I think it was between Collins and Clark. And Clark it is who's eliminated. Close. Collins lives on. And the oldest competitor in the final goes out. He was unlucky though. Down to 3. Collins, Shomi and Wood. And that's even closer. Well, it looks as though it was between Collins and Wood. Let's see. And it is Collins who's eliminated. A big disappointment for him. So he'll now go into the final event. 5 points behind Quarry, the man he's chasing for the overall title. He's got it all to do now. Handshake between Kengo Shomi and Josh Wood. Shomi won this event in last year's final. Can he do so again and keep in medal contention? He has! Terrific fall down from Shomi. And when it's confirmed, he'll be ecstatic about that. Yes, he knows now. He's just a point behind William Povey. And he's got a real possibility of lifting a medal here. And a very unusual celebration. You'd think he'd seen enough of that pad by now. But what a performance.
Well, it was killer Kengo in that event, and tell me about your delight at winning.
Well, I'm so happy. I won this event twice, just last year and this year also. We just needed, the reaction is so needed for me.
Delight for Kengo Shomi in first place, disaster for Jamie Quarry in 7th, and that's blown the leaderboard wide open. Collins now within 4 points of Quarry, Shomi and Povey battling for bronze. So who will be champion? Find out after the break in the final event, the headlong dive. crunch time in our final event. Jamie Quarry needs to finish 5th or better to take the title from Liam Collins.
The final event, the headlong dive. Athletes must take off from the board. They must fly headfirst into the pit. Please make sure your feet are not touching the sand first, or it is a no jump and you will be illegal.
Well, the heavens have opened here. The conditions are a bit miserable, but it's between you two now for the title. Liam, you've had a couple of practice jumps. What's it like, and what do you feel your chances are?
I've got a great chance of having a real good go at Iggy Singh's world record. It was a phenomenal leap which he pulled out in the heats, and it's all up for grabs now. I just need it's very important to get a good jump in here, and Jamie is a fantastic athlete. He's proved himself in every single event, every single discipline, but I'm not going to let him get away without a fight, that's for sure.
Yeah, Liam knows he has to win. For you, it's a top 5. So what's the approach going to be?
Keep it simple, get one in, do what I need to do to take the title.
Any butterflies? You're so close now to the title, you can almost touch it.
Not really. I mean, I've been there to be shot at throughout the competition, so I think now it's really keep my head, but I'm not nervous because I think this will be hopefully a good event for me.
So the situation is beautifully simple. If Kengo Shomi can beat William Povey, he'll take the bronze medal. If, however, Povey beats Shomi, he'll win it. Can Shomi really pile the pressure on here in the headlong dive? It looks good! Oh, that's a tremendous distance from the 21-year-old Japanese athlete. He's not going to move until it's measured accurately. Wonderful dive, 8 meters 23. That really is long from Shomi. William Povey needs to jump further than 8 meters 23 to take the bronze medal in this year's International King of Sports. Off he goes. All or nothing here. Oh, it looks close. It looks very close to Shomi's mark. And it's 8 meters 17, not enough. And that means that for the second year running, the little man from Japan, Kengo Shomi, is on the podium. He wins a medal. Never ever rule out Kengo Shomi. Well done, that man. And now the big 2. Liam Collins has to win this event to put any sort of pressure on Jamie Quarry. Shomi's mark of 8 meters 23 is the one to beat. And off he goes. Power in the shoulders, power in the arms. Oh, that's a tremendous, huge leap. That could be very special indeed.
8 meters 94.
8 meters 94. It's a world record. What a fantastic performance by Collins, fighting to the bitter end here. The confrontation between him and Quarry, bringing out the best in both men. Handshakes all round for Collins. He can still win that title. Jamie Quarry needs at least 5th place to take the prize here. He's got to jump over 7 meters 69 to score the points he needs. If it's shorter, or if he gets a red flag, then Collins will be champion. He was steady on the runway. He knew he had to make it legal, and it was. He's got a white flag. 7:69 is the distance he needs to beat. An anxious wait, and it's come up as 8 meters 68, so Quarry has done it. Jamie Quarry is the International King of Sports 2004. And the other athletes all pile onto Quarry in the sandpit, showing the kind of spirit that we've had between all the competitors here. Jamie Quarry has been quite magnificent throughout. He trained hard, he studied all the techniques needed in every event, he prepared thoroughly, and now it's paid off. He was always the man to beat, and he's won it.
A world record dive from Liam Collins, but it's not enough to deny Jamie Quarry. Quarry wins the title by 4 points from Collins. Kengo Shomi nicks bronze from a shattered William Povey. Jamie, I have to say that I did tip you to win the final, and you were a hot favourite. What are your thoughts at the end of it all?
Glad it's all over, but to be honest, it was a tough contest. You know, there wasn't. I took an early lead after about the 3rd event, and so I was there to be shot at. So I knew the guys would come and try and chase me down, which they did. So going into the final event, I still needed to, to place well to be assured of it.
And so the medals will be awarded by the first ever International King of Sports, the Cuban Javier Espinosa da Souza. Bronze to Kengo Shomi. his second successive year on the victory podium. Very popular. Silver to the surprise package of this year's event, the Briton Liam Collins, aiming to win a place in next year's Olympic Games, and if he shows the same level of determination he's shown here, he could make it. But here's our champion, and a deserving one. Jamie Quarry will receive the trophy and be crowned International King of Sports 2004. He's really impressed everyone from the moment we first saw him in practice and then for real in Heat 4, and he's just carried that form through to the final. The big guy, 6'1", 14 stone, perfect physique for so many of the events, and a perfect background, a top-class decathlete who, remember, won bronze for England in last year's Commonwealth Games, now International King of Sports.
Well, what an absolutely amazing competition it's been. No surprise really to see Jamie Quarry winning it as a decathlete. He's got the all-round ability, 3 world records in his heat, and he maintained that high standard right the way through.
So that's it from International King of Sports 2004. Once again, our congratulations go to the winner, Jamie. We will see you all next year in Cape Town. From all of us, it's goodbye.